Your legs are looking a bit strange there, Cal. Hi. Today we'll be Today we'll be taking a look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor using the RTX 3060 and the 5800X3D with 16GB of 3600 MHz CL17 RAM. Now, it's a bit of a powerful CPU to match with this with the 3060, so you might find that you don't get as high frame rates when using a weaker CPU in the more CPU limited situations, so like the lower settings or using a lot of DLSS. So keep that in mind if you are matching the 3060 with a lower end CPU. But I will be doing a video with the 12100F very soon, hopefully tomorrow. I just wanted to get this one out quick, so enjoy. Let's do it. So this was my little route that I did for all of the benchmarks. It's quite near the start of the game, but it contains some bits with a bit of combat and like quite a lot going on in certain areas. And there's a bit with like an luminous sign, which has a bit of volumetric fog as well, which is what really drops the frame rate on every go that I've had on all settings. So really, like, you might get slightly higher minimums, but there will be some areas where you dip to a lower frame rate for a little bit. That point, for example. Anyway, let's get into the data. Right, so at 4K, I haven't included many settings because I wanted to only select settings what will give you at least a lock 30, at least in the part of the game that I played anyway. So there is a possibility of getting a lock 30 at high and medium with FSR performance here, and at low you can nearly get 60, but I do feel like the low settings have their own upscaling on and it doesn't look great, to be honest, in my opinion anyway. So if you really want the smoothness, it might be worth it for you though. Now we have 1440p, and you can pretty much lock 30 on, well, any setting below Ultra now. So it's a bit better, and you can get a lot smoother with a bit of FSR quality there, or FSR balanced. Although the CPU is limiting like how much extra you gain from adding more FSR. This little fluorescent light coming up here with the smoke is the bit what I was talking about earlier, which just tanks your frame rate a little bit when you run past it, so that's why the minimums are as low as they are. They could have been a little bit higher. But I imagine there's a lot of other points in the game what are going to drop it like that. Now we have medium and low settings. We're really like getting close to that 60, well we are getting a 60 average at low, although once again there is some form of upscaling there and it looks pretty terrible at 1440p. Well, at least I think there is anyway. But at medium you're doing okay still, feeling nice and smooth there. I played it with a controller here as the game suggested, and I think that 59 average there felt completely fine, although you should be getting more. I didn't gain anything from adding a FSR here, as you're just CPU limited beyond this point, so I've only included them settings. Now we have 1080p, and I thought I'd include the epic settings here because you're already pretty much CPU limited even at this setting. So you can do alright there with epic, get a locked 30, or with a bit of FSR quality you can get pretty good frame rates really, averaging 61. With a VRR display it'd be sound really. Once again there was no point adding any more FSR here because I didn't gain anything other than terrible image quality. And even at 1080p I still wasn't able to get a locked 60 at all. But you can still get a pretty smooth feeling gameplay experience, although not the precious 60. So now we have 1080p high and medium settings, and we're pretty much hanging around the same area really. for me, I'd just probably stick to the, well, maybe high settings or epic. As medium to me doesn't look very good at 1080p, but obviously that's up to you.
See that cable?
Thought I'd include a few RT settings as well, but like I say, I'm not really sure if you'll actually be able to use these if you've got a lower end CPU, less powerful one, as it's already pretty low, and even when turning down settings you're not really gaining anything, it's just CPU limited, so you can get a locked 30 with this setup, but obviously you might as well stay on high FSR quality there. And now we just have a 1080p ray tracing setting there, and epic with FSR quality, another locked 30 with similar frame rates to 1440p, so once again your CPU limited, so I can't really say what you're going to be able to get with a lower end CPU, but I don't think it's going to be a locked 30 to be honest. Well, looks like we've got another CPU destroyer here. The 3060 is definitely capable of playing it, or it should be anyway. Should be able to do a lot better than it does, if it wasn't for the terrible optimization that is. But once again we have another AAA game that seems to completely pillage your CPU. This one's actually even worse than The Last of Us in this regard. Even when using the 5800X3D, which most people would consider a powerful gaming CPU, and overkill for the 3060, you still can't hold 60 FPS due to the CPU limitation. I will say it was able to hit an okay frame rate with the system though, one that will feel smooth enough to enjoy the game for some people, with a custom 45 FPS lock, or even 30 if that's enough for you. I know it isn't good enough for most PC gamers though, and it really isn't good enough for this system. But anyway, I'm currently testing the 3060 with an i3 12100F, so look out for that one if you're interested in seeing how it performs with a modern low-end CPU. Right then, so thanks for watching my video. If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe for more. Thanks, bye.